Hello, it's Dame Nicola Smith-Jackson here. I'm very happy to be with you on today. And I'm going to be talking to you about some information that I believe is so super important. We are in the midst of one of the toughest times that our world have ever seen. And I know it can, just bring up so many different emotions. It is just so different right now, and it actually now has created a new way of doing so many things, and many people are just unprepared. And so we're going to be talking about power moves to recession proof your finances. And I can tell you one thing, this is information that I know a lot about because I've been on both sides of the spectrum. And so when you begin to realize that financial literacy is an epidemic in the midst of the pandemic, and why I say this is because there's 67% of the entire world that's financially literate. This is always going to make it really just an uneven playing field because many people don't have access to the right information or even access to even assets, right? Things are helping people to create better finances as well as make different decisions than maybe our fathers or our grandfathers or grandmas or you know what I mean. Because let me tell you something, this is something that many people have experienced, but sometimes we're just super embarrassed, don't want to talk about the money thing. And so when I can think about my story, I was in a personal recession a few times. I don't know if you maybe grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth. I know I didn't. I came from a family of immigrants. My father came over from Jamaica. My mom was born in Panama, raised in Jamaica, came to the States when she was 16. They got together, had a few children, me being one of them, and they got divorced by the time I was 10. So you know what? Things became extremely stressful. My mom, she had 2 jobs, and she was going to cosmetology school at the same time. So I had to grow up really quickly. And the thing is that I can remember those cold winters. I can remember those cold winters without hot water, having to boil water to take baths. I could remember, even though we were living in a single family home, I can remember that when mom went to the grocery store, we had to make that ration for the month, even though she had 2 jobs. And I also remember times when, I really needed my mom. Sometimes I could have had a bad day at school and you call her at the job and she's whispering because she can't really connect. But then something changed. She literally became a salon owner and entrepreneur. And then my mom went to become a 6-figure earner in her first year. But guess what? After that, we moved to Atlanta. She opened up another salon and it tanked. I saw something so different. We ended up now our own family was in a recession. That's like without enough to make it through the month. Like you're talking about having more bills than money. And so now I began to work with my mom. I became an entrepreneur pretty early. I was in school, started the college thing, and dropped out. Ended up being an overworked hairstylist. Seemed like history was repeating itself. I went on and I got a real estate license. I was invested in real estate, did insurance. It's different things, just knowing that I wanted to earn money. But when you start talking about, by the age of 23, I had buried 3 children, and then I became a single mom. This time, I even had some bigger challenges. One of my sons, who's now, don't even feel bad about him, is 22 years old, never walked a day in his life, but he is such an amazing human being, and he's married and he has his own life. But when you start to think about this, I just started praying for a change. I needed more time with God. I needed time with my kids. By this time I'm married, I needed time for my wifely duties, and I needed some more money. Our family was growing fast, and now we were in 2008. So now when you start to think about, our whys, there's so many of them. My kids, my family, now I'm a basketball mom and all that. And, my boys are growing up. They have children of their own. And then here we are, the fabulous grandpa and grandma. That's me. But this is what I didn't know. I needed a breakthrough. I started praying for financial freedom, and I ended up in an industry that many people may know about. Is network marketing. Some people don't know much about it, so they're afraid of it. But it did pretty well for my family and I. Fast forward 25 years now, I've been building wealth. I've been building businesses in entrepreneurship spaces, became a $1 million earner since 2009, business 8 figures, monthly sales. And just to think right now, the first pinnacle senior vice president of my company, I founded the Pink Millionaire Club. We're connecting the dots between the have and the have-nots. It's my passion, as well as I founded a foundation where we're helping to really just increase sustainability and close that economic gap in the communities and schools, and with women. And I also have been hosting a podcast now, nearly 1,000 episodes here. And I've been inducted in the $1 Million Hall of Fame, a few other things. And it's not enough about me. But I want you to know is that if I could do these things, and I didn't realize that I was creating a recession-proof life, that this time, when things started happening, I saw a whole different world than I had done before. And then what I realized is, you know what? I got to reverse engineer this and put this in a package where other people can know about it. And this is how I created the Money Mansion. It's a financial ascension system with the power moves to help you build your wealth like a millionaire. Now, I wasn't always a millionaire, but I'm going to tell you this. I began to realize that acquiring wealth was way more than just going out there working hard. You definitely have to work smart. And so I need you to know that all wealth really does begin in your mind. When you start recession-proofing your finances, the first thing you got to do is prime your mind for success. And I'm going to tell you something. It's very hard, especially with what's going on in the news, when you start talking about social media, when you begin to think about the state of where we are, even as a country here in the United States. People may be listening to this from all over the world. But this is one thing I do know, is that there are only about 6 basic human needs. And when you begin to think that people are looking now for certainty, they're looking now, they want to have maybe some, they still want some spice in their life. This is why people are still even spending their last monies and stimulus checks and things like that. But I'm going to tell you something. Amongst the other human needs, one thing, people are always going to be wanting love. That's going to cover everything. But they also want growth. They also want to contribute. They have other needs. And so when we're in a recession, a lot of those needs are not being met. And so I want you to pay very close attention and take some notes. One of the first power moves that you can do to just make it through this recession and actually thrive, not just survive, is you got to look at multiple income streams. Now, anyone with one income is dangerous. You're vulnerable. You're more susceptible to fear. You're more susceptible to not feeling certain. You're more susceptible to having just not clear about what you should do. But what I found is that wealthy people have at least 7 diverse, non-conflicting streams of income. And they're tax friendly. Literally, they choose their streams of income based off of maybe the risk versus the reward, but also how they can save more in taxes and have more flexibility. One is not going to cancel out the other. Now, this is one thing that I found, is that, you know what, if you're working 2 jobs, it's only 24 hours in a day, eventually you're going to run out of gas. But if you had a job and you had a residual stream of income, or you had some passive streams like maybe with real estate, or maybe you were part of the gig economy where you had some flex time, or maybe you had even network marketing as a business, but then now when maybe you were told, hey, you can't go to work because of what's going on with the pandemic, or your kid now has to be homeschooled, you still have a stream of income that didn't only rely on you as a body being there. And so what I want you to do is think about some things that you can turn into an income. I know you got your job, but what else? Maybe you have some information. This is a huge information age right now. People are buying your brilliance right now. Things that you might know, you've known for all these years, even the challenges you've gone on through, even your story could actually be a stream of income. What about maybe you doing some virtual assistance work? What about you maybe learning how to invest in real estate without you having large down payments? We're going to talk about how you can do that. But they shouldn't conflict with each other. When you start thinking about wealthy, you know why they might have real estate investments and may have other kind of streams of income, and even because they're tax friendly. So you want to think about that and ask your CPA, hey, what are the best tax friendly businesses? Or you want to say, well, what type of business can I earn some residual income, even if I may have to work really hard in the beginning, but maybe I'm not going to have to be working hard forever. You want to look at how you can monetize your life, doing things that you love, so that you can actually spend more time with the people you love. The next power move you need to make is on income protection. You got 27.9 million people who have no insurance, and it's depleting their finances. Whether it was health insurance, super expensive, but if you have the right income generators, that could have been taken care of, right? But then they also don't have income protection. Insurance that would protect your income in the time or in case you can't work. Now, there are also people who had gotten ill and still did not have any additional streams coming in. What I want you to know is, on top of having residual income streams that maybe if you can't work as hard, maybe money is still coming in from things you've done before, or royalties, or maybe something that you created and you're licensed out, what have you. All I need you to know is that insurance is a necessity. This is something most people try to buy when they need it, and that's too late, including not realizing that there may be some insurance policies that you probably didn't take a look at that may even have been accumulating some cash value. I had a family member that bought an insurance policy on one of our children, very young, and then guess what? Now the child was 20 plus years old. It was $100,000 there. They didn't even look there. Now that money can now be put into the marketplace and start making more money. Let me tell you something. You know, during a recession, when you start talking about, when we go back to that income generation, because I'm going to always toggle back and forth there. Why? Because I don't want you to forget it. That during times like the recession, even things in the stock market go on sale. Stocks go on sale. Investments go on sale. So maybe go and take a look at how else can you use insurance? Now you have insurance out there where you could actually create your own bank, like it's called infinite banking. We've used this. This is powerful. And then now you can take those monies again and you can be a private lender. There's so many things you can do, but everything that you have needs protection. It's called just in case. And those just in case moments always happen. Income protection will have you prepared when we go through another downturn in the economy. You got to understand that everything in life goes in cycles, even our life. The economy is no different. What I experienced in 2008, kind of feel like what a lot of people are going through right now. Yeah, we came into it through with health, but our health affects our finances. You need your health to go work. And so one of the major power moves that you have to make is you got to learn more about money. As I shared earlier, the majority of the world is financially literate. We want to make money. We always talk about go make money, go earn money. But what about managing money? What about budgeting? What about having an emergency fund 3 to 6 months? And you say, well, how do I do that? It goes back to the income generation. You can literally actually create one income stream that only goes to feed your emergency fund. This is something that I did. It was so powerful because then now that was money you're able to do to even maybe invest in a business or have that little money for a startup. But I'm going to tell you something. If you got to keep more money, you got to learn how to manage it. It can be something as simple as going through your bank statements over the last 3 months and highlight things that you really don't need. You just go ahead and cancel some of those automatic billings that you had. You can find some cash in tons of places. All you need to do is identify what your income is, even if you don't have a job. You want to count those stimulus checks. You want to know that every dollar counts. You respect the dollar, it starts respecting you. And then now you get all of your expenses and you see what's left over. If there's a deficit, that's very clear what type of income stream that you need to earn, what type of income stream that you can now say, give you the potential to just slacken you up a little bit while you are getting yourself out of the hole, making sure you're not using things like credit irresponsibly. We'll go to that in a moment. But then now at the end of the day, you are banking up to recession-proof your finances. I'm going to tell you something. Basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division is all that's needed for you to learn more about personal finance. I know that it gets complicated, but that's not complicated. Personal financial literacy is not complicated. We as people are complicated because we may not want to let go. This is a season where some things needed to shed from us that we weren't ready to let go of. But let's just take another look and don't invalidate yourself. Just course correct and let's keep moving forward. The fourth power move that you want to make, you want to think like the wealthy. And that's talking about leverage, how you can do more with less. But you want to leverage other people's money. And so you want to make sure that you actually have a great credit score. I can tell you a 740 or higher credit score can do wonders. Like meaning that it could allow you to leverage the bank's money or even leverage some other type of lender's money. But you want to be careful in understanding that there's a cost to leveraging money and it's called interest. The higher that interest rate is, the more debt you're creating. So if you're going to leverage and go into debt, it needs to be to make money. You want to look at, hey, I am getting this money to leverage it to make more money, meaning that more money than you borrowed should be coming back, your return on the investment. Now, I can tell you things. You want to think about, hey, the risk, your reward, and responsibility. You want to be responsible for money so it can grow. Now, I have seen people leverage other people's money, not only banks, but insurance companies and things like that, and then go out and purchase other things that made them more money, return the money to the bank or whatever the leverage source is, and now they have a profit and can start building up a bigger nest egg. Now, I am going to tell you, leverage is important. But we want to get you prepared for leverage. And if you don't have great credit, let's get that in order. Get some assistance. Get a professional to assist you in that area. And the fifth power move is personal development. We talked about mindset being like the beginning of wealth building. And I'm going to tell you something. Personal development is going to allow you to discover your self-worth, where you know that you deserve more. When you know you're going to deserve more, you're going to start doing more. You're going to start hanging around some different people. You're going to start having some different types of conversations. And even though other people might see things like, oh my gosh, it's doom and gloom, you'll be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's going to also increase your financial IQ. So you won't just believe everything you hear on the news. The NASDAQ, when I looked up, was up over 33%. A lot of people made money in the S&P 500, S&P 100. And then many people looked at this time as a time to also get back with the people they love and spend more quality time. They also looked at opportunities to give and help people that were down, creating fulfillment. It's healthy to create fulfillment. Who is it? Tony Robbins says that the key to living is giving. And so I'm going to tell you that when you begin to now work on your personal development, I created a pink print, which is pretty much like a roadmap to the right money mindset, to building solid relationships, sustainable businesses, and just want to be happy. I mean, come on. At the end of the day, you can do this and become a magnetic influencer and start having impact in your industry. Don't let anybody tell you that you're down and out right now and you can't come up. I know both sides of the coin. I know when the odds are stacked against you. And this is why you want to look into also having mentorship. You know, when you begin to think about mentorship, it's the fastest path to mastery. Why? Because if you connect with someone who already knows what you want to know, and you can now model after them, you can now connect with them, you can converse with them, you're going to start taking on the likeness of them. You can develop your mental muscle and start reducing fear. Fear pretty much comes either off of past experiences or the unknown. And the thing is that when you have a mentor who can tell you, hey, this is natural along the process that you're on, hey, the road, you just got to keep going, then fear reduces. You also have that seasoned perspective. You have someone to bounce things off of. And then now you also can leverage a network. There's that word leverage again. Now, when you start thinking about leveling up, you want to build a wealth network. People who are like-minded, that they also are givers, that they're not coming from a scarcity mind as to where we're going to get. And also, you want someone in your life that can help you course correct. If you're on the wrong path, be grateful for those who will put you on the right path. I can tell you right now, I am so grateful for my mentors. It's allowed me to become a mentor. It's allowed me to create atmospheres for other people to grow. When I can look right here, Dame Cordova, when she invited me to be knighted as a dame, I look at my pastors, my mom right here in the beautiful purple, my doctor who delivered our baby, Dr. Miles Monroe, and my husband. Let me tell you something. When you now begin to work on yourself as a whole, you start attracting really good people into your life. And so when hard times come, somebody got what you need. And so you start thinking about, like my good friend Ray Higdon here, who says, hey, you know what? When you start having good soul into you, start being good. It's like he's honored to know me. I'm so honored to know him and his beautiful wife. Here we are. I've spoken for them a few times. I can tell you right now. We also have Danielle Carlton, who says, you know what? She started really honing in on what we have to offer, even with the money mansion. She started doing better budgeting, saving, investing. Now she is a multiple six-figure earner, homeowner. She had the right policies for her family, all these different things. And now she's not afraid anymore. And she's confident. She's on her way to seven figures. You got Yesenia, who's in the real estate. You know, she was like, look, her money management was horrible. They didn't teach this to us in school. But now she's investing. She's using the programs. And she's able to dream again. 3 beautiful children. She has a set of twins that went off to college. And she's not afraid. The Nicola building a multi-million-dollar business, was in corporate America, was $80,000 in school, in loans, in debt, paid off all that debt. Now she's a new bride, new baby, multiple properties, investing in the marketplace. All I can tell you is that all of these things can be available to you. Now, my time is almost up here, but I want to leave you with a gift. What I want you to do is start making money moves like the wealthy. I got a free report for you. And if you ever continue to wonder what are the in-depth of what people are doing maybe differently than you, if you're having any challenges, not only with money, but also relationships, you want both. And so I have a 17-page report for you. It's called The 5 Money Moves Wealthy People Make in a Downturning Economy. It's the companion to this brief training, but it goes more in depth, giving you some specific action steps to take. And I want you to go to 5moneymoves.com and get that free report. I pray it will help you be more confident in making some power moves. I am so grateful to be here with you on today. And I want you to go to 5moneymoves.com, go get the free report, and, keep your head up. Nothing lasts forever, including tough times. But you got to hustle while you can. I know it might be hard, but I know you can do it. You got to get in the right environment to make you want to do it. Take care.